Stephanie Snedden.
And I'm Tony Amran. This is Spoke TV, your source for local and campus news.
Conestoga's second-year interior decorating students are putting unused old chairs to good use. The project allows students to show their abilities in recycling and renewing objects such as chairs and lamps by giving them a totally different, upgraded look. Mike Sellish checked out the transformed objects earlier this week.
Ever wonder what happens to that beat-up old chair in the basement? Well, Conestoga College's interior decorating students might have something to do with it. Program coordinator Leslie Squirrel explains what they've been up to.
It is a team-oriented project. They were assigned an element of design, such as color, light, pattern, texture, and they had to interpret that element of design by finding an old, dilapidated chair. They had to upcycle it using materials of their choice to represent their element of design. And subsequently, next spring, we'll host a charity gala where the students' chairs will be auctioned off to raise funds for a charity of their choice.
Second-year student Sarah Poole explains what went into her group's masterpiece.
3 of us together sanded it down, painted it, reupholstered it, and as long as we finished it, then we would, call it a wrap. I think it could be perfect for a magazine, front cover.
The course doesn't only focus on restoring old furniture. The second-year students are also tasked with creating different styles of light fixtures. Second-year student Kelly Hesselden-Boone explains how, with a little help, she was able to build the lamp of her dreams.
So we just put all the pieces together: flywheel at the base, the Jeep steering column, Harley-Davidson chain, window crank from a Jeep. That's the glory about found art, is it speaks to you.
With the popularity of the course on the rise, Squirrel has mentioned that there is a potential for a graduate program in the future. Last year's fundraising debut brought in more than $10,000, and this year's group is definitely going to raise some eyebrows.
With the overwhelming amount of talent, hard work, and dedication that these interior decorators have displayed, it's easy to understand why last year's gala was so successful. You pair that with increased enrollment and the possibility of a post-grad program, and it's going to be safe to say that next year's event is going to be tougher to beat. For Spoke TV, I'm Mike Sellish.
Since 2000, churches in Kitchener-Waterloo have been helping the homeless by bringing them indoors during the cold winter months. This year, however, churches have seen a drastic increase in people staying the night and are having trouble accommodating guests. Sean Cassidy brings us out of the cold.
If it weren't for them, I would not know where I'd be today.
Out of the cold, a phrase that means so much to those who can't simply walk across the parking lot to their car or hop the bus home for shelter. Like Kitchener's Lisa Heyman, who was able to use the program to get off the streets and work towards providing for herself.
Lost, I'd be like the lost sheep in the Bible. I'd be like that, and I wouldn't know where to go until I was found, and I was found. And I got the help, and I got the resources and everything, and it's all thanks to them. They're my saviors.
Out of the cold has become saviors to many, and those numbers are getting tighter. Dennis Watson, Trinity Church Site Coordinator, explains.
And they've been growing and even staggering. Last year it was 44% increase in the numbers slept across the community, and already after 3 weeks this year, we're 36% higher than last year at this time.
A 36% climb in the number of guests sleeping over. That's approximately 65 people staying the night, and not all the venues have the space.
We would normally see 40 to 45 in around this time, maybe 50. But to hit 65, one night is already hitting 70 on 2 consecutive nights, Wednesday night. That's where the double site is, 2 sites. Their tally is 70 plus. They never saw that kind of number last year.
The amount of guests staying over isn't the only number that's increasing. Trinity Church has seen a 10% climb in guests coming for dinner, serving over 200.
A number we would like to show you. However, out of respect for people's privacy, no cameras are allowed in the sleeping and dining area while guests are present, and it remains unclear if they'll be able to continue to support the growing numbers. For Spoke TV, I'm Sean Cassidy.
Having trouble finding parking in Kitchener? City Hall has an expensive plan to create parking spaces downtown, with the focus to attract more people to its core. But does this discourage people from using public transit, biking, or walking? Daryl Vandenberg gives us the scoop.
With the 2013 budget, City Council may be spending about $6 million on underground parking next to City Hall.
City officials say that parking is essential to the health of the downtown.
And from 2010 to 2012, parking revenues increased by $1.5 million. The city is responsible for all maintenance and enforcement of about 3,000 parking spaces on and off the streets. Councillor Yvonne Fernandez thinks there should be a different focus to bring people downtown.
I think that we really have a lot of parking in the city. In the interest of trying to move the LRT, trying to get people out of their cars, I think the more parking lots we have, the less incentive we show for people to actually get out of their cars and use transit and use cycling and become pedestrian friendly. So I would say that parking is really not a revenue-generating business.
Many of the businesses along King Street rely on people parking to shop. Owner of BG Diamonds and Gold, Pamela McGuire, has seen parking affect her business.
It would be nice to even have more parking in the downtown core, because it is sometimes a challenge to find parking. So I would be interested to see whereabouts it is that they were going to be putting it.
80% of parking spaces are used up during the week. The city will need financial help for any more parking garage projects in the future. For Spoke TV, I'm Daryl Vandenberg.
With the days getting shorter, students may feel less comfortable walking back to their car or home after class. The answer could be WalkSafe, a service run by Conestoga Security. Camila Rivero walks us through the details of the program.
Walking around campus late at night can be intimidating for some people. With this in mind, Conestoga College's security services established the WalkSafe program, where you can request an escort anywhere on campus after 6:45 p.m. The program runs from Monday to Thursday and can be accessed by phone or in person at either the security office or doors 1 and 6 at Doon. Security services worker Barb Akel says the goal is to service everyone on campus.
First, it's not just for students, it's for employees as well. Our WalkSafe staff can provide escorts to the residents, their vehicles, or homes nearby.
WalkSafe is organized and maintained by security services worker Lorna Campbell. It is also overseen by a contract security guard who trains and supervises the students employed.
A lot of the programs, when they do their orientation, will let the students know about WalkSafe, and it also encourages the students to apply for the positions because it's a work-study position.
Public relations student and WalkSafe veteran Jake Bellany says the program keeps gaining popularity every year.
I actually think it has. I mean, we've had 7 or 8 walks this year within the first 2 weeks, and last year it seemed to be about the first month we only had 1 or 2. So I think people understand that we're available and are actually taking us up on it.
The service will be in effect all of fall semester and again in the winter. For Spoke TV, I'm Camila Rivero.
Each year, citizens of Waterloo are nominated for the Waterloo Award, the city's highest civic honor. The mayor handed out awards to people in the community who have made a significant contribution. Marcus Wolf was at the award ceremony at City Council Monday night and shed some light on the winner's accomplishments.
Without my husband's encouragement, support, and never-ending belief in me, none of this would have been possible.
The Waterloo Awards were held at City Council Monday night. Nominees are judged by a selection committee on a number of criteria, including innovation, impact on Waterloo, letters of support, length of service, and leadership skills. Outwater, Sookram, and Walk-In join a list of 36 distinguished volunteers who have received the Waterloo Award since its inception in 1997.
Without inspiration, there's no hope, and hope provides change in a thriving community.
Outwater, director of the KW Symphony, gives praise to his orchestra.
The orchestra is seen as a positive force, and that the work we've done in the last few years is kind of resonating with people. So to be recognized and have the orchestra recognized in that way is a terrific honor.
I feel most grateful for the opportunity to be able to do so, and to be recognized in this manner for my efforts is tremendous. What a dream come true it is. Thank you.
Walken tells us about the part she played in the construction of a new fire station in her community.
Fire station number 4, and I was part of the steering committee to have that constructed from start to finish, and it's something that has left a legacy on the city of Waterloo, keeping our end of the city safe.
I've always been community oriented, mainly because it fits perfectly with my values. As a human being, I believe that it is part of my purpose. As a citizen in the region of Waterloo, I believe that it is part of my obligation.
Circum, who teaches English as a second language on the side of hosting his own multicultural radio show, tells us why it's so important to stay connected to your community.
I think it is important. I think as citizens in the region or in the community, it is very important for us to kind of find a way to stay connected, and these are the kind of things that can fit with my values, so that's the reason why I do these kind of things.
For Spoke TV, I'm Marcus Wolf.
It's the time of year when everyone is in the spirit of giving, so Conestoga Business Administration students put together a special event called Jammin For Hunger. Local bands performed for charity at the BoatHouse in Kitchener, with all proceeds going to the Waterloo Regional Food Bank. Ali Brogan fills us in on this event.
A lot of things come to mind when raising money for the food bank, but is live music one of them? Here at the BoatHouse in downtown Kitchener, Jammin For Hunger is running their first charity event featuring local bands and tons of fun.
Guests coming to the event were asked to bring $15 cover and non-perishable food items to gain entrance. 100% of the money raised during the night is going to the Waterloo Region Food Bank. Jammin For Hunger is a charity run by Conestoga students from the Business Administration program. Event organizer David Thoreau explains why they thought charity and local nightlife were a good fit.
I think seeing as we were marketing towards a lot younger of a group, I think it was easier because, you know, who doesn't love coming out, listening to live music, getting food, and having a couple of drinks with friends. We noticed that we had a really, young target market, so we figured that drinks is a fun, cool thing to do on a Wednesday night because what else you have better to do on a Wednesday?
Richard Anthony, one of the featured artists of the night, shares how he got involved in the charity.
Actually, I came down here to pay a tab from a few days ago, and Brandon here, he just asked. I had my guitar. I was going to go to an open mic, but I just hung out here, and Brandon just asked me to play.
The group's overall goal was to raise $600 for the night. The smallest amount of people can make the biggest difference. For Spoke TV, I'm Ali Brogan.
That's what we have for you this week. For Spoke TV, I'm Tony Amran.
And I'm Stephanie Snedden. For more campus news, visit spokeonline.com.